Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for coming by to my continuing review of AMC's current series, NOS4A2. Just got done watching episode 2, The Graveyard of What Might Be. Have a few thoughts on where this show may be going, but of course, as usual, I like to know what you guys think. What did you think of tonight's episode? Is it something that entices you to watch the next 8, the rest of the season, or are you just about done? Love to hear why. Tell me in the comments below, and also don't forget to consider clicking on that subscribe button and on that bell notification to hear any more content from me for your future enjoyment. So last week, the first episode, there was one thing I meant to mention and I can't believe I forgot because it was probably one of the more interesting things of episode 1. I love Easter eggs in movies or TV shows. I love finding those little references that are talking about something else that's connected to that movie or show, and the first episode had one particular one that I noticed immediately. I didn't have to go online to find this one. Now maybe there's more Easter eggs than this one I'm talking about, but if there are, please tell me in the comments below. As for tonight's episode, which I didn't really find any, but for the first one I want to talk about was the map that Charlie has that shows his trail in order to get all the children that he's trying to find, that takes him to Christmas Land. And one specific place is in Maine, and you see it's Pennywise Circus. I thought that was so cool because I knew exactly what that was. That's obviously it. And along with that, I was thinking there's so much of the show that feels like Stephen King. Why is that? And then you have Pennywise Circus there. And I come to find out through other people that commented, and throughout the week I did my research, Joe Hill is obviously related to Stephen King. That's his son. And now it makes perfect sense why this show feels so Stephen King-like. And I just thought it was cool that he has those little references from his father's books. But let's see if any other references or Easter eggs show up. But like I said, if there's anything I may have missed that you saw, please share in the comments below. But anyways, to tonight's episode with Vic, she is confronting her father because he's with another woman. So you're dealing with this whole issue with her and her parents, and she moves from her mom's house to stay with her dad, and it's just a lot of family drama, but it just, you can tell she's had enough of it. And this is also an episode where she's discovering more of this power that she has, and the fact that she knows, she's trying to make sense of it. She knows that if she goes through this bridge, she knows that if she finds the things that she loses, so she's trying to pick up the pieces little by little. And you just really grow fond of this character, at least I have. Aside from Vic's character, which I'll mention again later, the episode does begin with a new character that we haven't seen yet, Bing Partridge, and he is a janitor that works at a specific company. He sees an ad for Christmas Land, and he writes a letter to Christmas Land saying he wants to be a part of it, and he has this really crazy dream, this nightmare at the beginning, and he wakes up from it, and he eventually is confronted by Charlie in the Rolls Royce, and he's taking him to Christmas Land. So I think he's going to be like his henchman, because in the first episode, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, he had another henchman that obviously is no longer around. So I think this is the guy that's going to work for him. So just as it was in the first episode, we had two different storylines going on, but I feel the main focus of this episode is the other storyline, which is all about Vic. You're finding more about who she is, her powers, and her meeting with Maggie Lee, which was another character that I forgot to mention in the first episode. She is sort of a clairvoyant. She kind of works with the sheriff on cases, and she uses her gifts for that. And she uses Scrabble tiles that she keeps in a bag to get her answers. And I thought her character was pretty cool. Vic eventually meets her in the town that she's in through her bridge. And I feel, Maggie is like a mentor or a guide to Vic. And that's something that I feel that Vic really needs right now in her life. And it's kind of comforting to know that they're both together now. And Maggie kind of introduces Vic to this universe that she's going to be a part of now through this many different words, like she knows the bridge is the bridge to take her to where she wants to find lost things, but Maggie calls that the Inscape, and she calls herself and Vic, she calls them the creatives, and these are people with special gifts. So it's kind of interesting to know that she is not only alone in this, but Vic now has somebody she can confide to that knows that she knows what she is going through with these new gifts. And even though I feel Vic was the more prominent character of this episode, it does end with Charlie and Bing. That really gives you a glimpse on who this person is, probably to learn more about in later episodes. And it has them both going to this darkened area in the woods, and it leads to this place with a bunch of headstones spread out. Then you have Bing looking around, he's looking in the ice, and you see these kids frozen in the ice. And just in a brief summary, Charlie tells him that this is the place where all the neglected children are, and he feels like that's his mission to save these kids. Now, his definition of saved is probably different from our definition. It's probably some warped idea to save these kids. But it kind of makes sense now why he picked Bing to be his side man. Somewhere I heard or read that his character had a tortured childhood, so it makes sense why he's there with him, because he feels if he had such a tortured childhood, he can save these kids from having the same kind of past. And Charlie kind of knows who Vic is to some degree, just like Vic somewhat knows about Charlie. He knows that there's someone there in Haverhill that could threaten his magic, his Christmas land, and that is Vic. He doesn't know it yet that it's her, but eventually I'm thinking it's going to be obvious that they're both going to find each other and confront each other. Something I'm actually looking forward to, because these are two definitely different characters. All in all, though, I like this episode. I like where it's going. I like the character development. I like the Stephen King feel to it. And it's just a show that I want to keep on watching. I want to see where it goes. Of course, it's not for everyone. Not everyone is into shows that are based on character development and the mystery of it all, that's slowly paced, taking its time. They want some action, which is entirely understandable. But I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions about it so far. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for my next review for episode 3. I'm also reviewing The Handmaid's Tale as well on my channel. I hope you enjoyed everything. You have a great night. This is Riley the Movie Guy saying, I'll see you at the movies.